Luffy versus Kaido. The fight that's been going on for over a year now. The one that's been going on for the same length as some feature films has finally reached its climactic stage. Kaido, the world's strongest creature, standing at 23 foot 4 inches tall versus a 5'9" Brazilian in sandals. Now you might be asking yourself, how does this goofy little kid compare to this absolute beast? Quite simple if you ask me. By taking years off his lifespan in order to change it to different gears. First, we got base Luffy. You know, the usual construction shit. Nothing too crazy. Then we got gear 2, which is high-key just a Kaioken clone. But hey, I don't know how, but by accelerating his blood pressure, bro's heart is racing so fast, he just be blitzing people and punching really fast. But you might be wondering, isn't increasing your blood pressure to the point where you can basically see steam coming out of your body? Yourself? Yes. We got gear 3, which is another stolen move from Tom and Jerry, but easily the most slept on gear. Shit is so versatile. Luffy could literally combo it with anything, using it in gear 2 and even put some fire on top of it. Plus it foreshadowed that Luffy can change the size of his body, leading to one of my fave One Piece moments. Luffy uses the gear 3 muscle balloon in order to activate gear 4. Now gear 4 is cold. Shit got 3 different forms. Think of it like the Eustass. Take Man is defense, Snake Man is speed, and Bound Man is attack. Now I'm not gonna lie, Take Man is goofy as fuck. I don't know what Luffy was cooking. Bound Man is also goofy. Joffy was literally laughing at Luffy when he transformed, but that was his biggest mistake. Its form is stronger than second and third. I'm gonna let you transform then. Wait, you dead ass? Yeah, I mean, fuck it.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up.
Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
I'm about to end this man's whole career. Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Now, Snake Man is the coldest Gear 4 transformation. Like, my god, Luffy, you do not have to look this hard. Normally, Luffy is a really goofy fighter, but when he's in Gear 4, he looks so tough. Like, he actually looked like he about to run up on you. Now we got Gear 5. Man, this transformation is so cold. Basically, Luffy becomes a Toon Force god that defies all the laws of physics. Since it turns out the Gomu Gomu no Mi was really the Nika Nika fruit, which makes sense, because if you really think of it, Luffy been a real nigga since day 1. So how exactly did Luffy obtain Gear 5? Not gonna lie, Kaido killed his ass, since this CP0 member gave him the craziest lob. So yeah, Kaido got another fraudulent victory and beat Luffy again. This is why I'd hate fighting the main character. Imagine beating the main character 4 times, knowing the fact you killed him the 4th time, and he still gets back up. Bro literally resurrected himself since he had some goofy ass heartbeat. If I was Kaido, I'd be tight, but then again, he was on the verge of crying after killing Luffy. Sorry, Luffy, but you wasn't built for this, gang. So Zunisha out here geeked over the sound of Luffy's heartbeat, but I'm over here geeked about Luffy's hair. Y'all see this? My boy Luffy on his dreadhead arc. He looking like the 5th Opium member. So Luffy is resurrected and just starts getting sturdy. Look at him. He's hitting that shit. That ass though, the drums of liberation were going crazy. I felt like I was ascending hearing them in the background. Can't play them because of copyright reasons, but I just want y'all to know I was bumping. But what Luffy did next, I wasn't expecting this. Plus, I was too hyped watching this when it first came out. I barely even noticed. So you know how whenever 2 emperors clash, they split the sky. Luffy said fuck that and just split the sky by himself. That's crazy. Because in the One Piece verse, it's only been 2 weeks since Kaido one-shot Luffy. So in the span of 2 weeks, wait, no, fuck that. Since he went to the rooftop, Luffy went from not knowing how to use Advanced Conqueror's Haki to splitting the sky with Kaido to then doing it by himself. Telling you, dog, unless you're like Madara, you never want to be the main villain. These main characters be speed running their power levels. So yeah, the Gomu Gomu no Mi is really the Nika Nika fruit, and Oda really foreshadowed it in Skypiea, yet again pushing the don't skip Skypiea arc agenda. I love this scene of Luffy jumping around. It just reminds me of how One Piece is supposed to be a grand adventure of some goofy kid with a straw hat. Some of y'all people be taking One Piece way too seriously. I promise you, it's not that deep. Enough with the chit chat. Luffy pulls up on Kaido and just yeets him into the sky, goes muscle form on some Popeye shit, and hits Kaido with the bing boom boom pow, proceeds to strangle Kaido and hit him with the Ninjago spin move, followed by the Loki slam. And it was at this moment Kaido realized his ass was not built for this, but Kaido ain't gonna fold just like that, so he retaliates and fires a blast breath. Peep my man's reaction. This shit is straight out of Looney Tunes. Luffy proceeds to stretch his arms that his body stretches back to, hits the moonwalk, turns the ground into rubber, and sends that shit right back to Kaido, toasting the fuck out of him. And you know Luffy, he acting like he off a shroom right now. Bro, deadass cannot stop laughing. This is Gear 5, Luffy's peak, and he's about to beat the brakes off Kaido in the most cartoonish way possible. But before we get to the main fight, I just want you to know I got a Discord server up. Link is in the bio or in the top right. Go check that shit out. We about to be active. Besides that, let's go back to Luffy beating Kaido's ass. Luffy's out here just bouncing on the ground, and Kaido's had enough of his bullshit, asking Luffy, who are you? Luffy's like, I'm just me, bro, the main character. So Kaido has had enough of Luffy's bullshit and decides to eat him. But you know Luffy, bro, this nigga is a living Looney Tune. So he turns Kaido's body into rubber and just starts doing his Bellamy impression, spring sounds and everything. Then he just straight up turns Kaido into a balloon. After that, he stretches his arms through Kaido's eyes and catapults himself into the sky. So it starts storming and shit. So Yamato and Momonosuke pull up wondering what the fuck is going on. And this nigga Luffy comes flying out the sky. Man, he just ate a giant mushroom. Kaido takes a mean bite out of Luffy, but Luffy retaliates and casually pushes him off. This nigga Luffy not acting serious right now, since he proceeds to grab Kaido and starts jump roping him. I mean, you gotta get that cardio in somehow. But Kaido took that personal, since he just hits Luffy with a blast breath and turned him to a real nigga. Nah, but I can see why he got the Nika Nika fruit now. Bro got the fro and everything. I don't know how, but Luffy shakes the black off of him and just starts running back to Onigashima. Mans was going so fast he left his face behind. Oh my fucking god, we're about to die. This nigga Luffy stinks. On god, if I was up there, this dragon wouldn't be acting up like this right now. Nigga, stop capping. I gave you the freest lob to finish Big Mom and you still couldn't capitalize. I had to put her in my own room to finish the job. Look at everyone. The whole castle is burning up and our lives depend on that stupid monkey with a straw hat. I'm gonna beat Kaido's ass. Yippee! I'm at the girl. Yeah, so Luffy just crashes into the island and deflates back up to Kaido. He just starts aging. Bro is not beating the dying young allegations. So Kaido's like, yo, just give up. But Luffy gets back up with the coldest line. After you die, all that's left is bone. So he powers back up into Gear 5 and calls back to everyone, including Pedro. Shout out to him. Put his life on the line for the game. So Kaido like, hey, you gonna die if you in that form for too long. And my boy Luffy hits Kaido with some of the cleanest animation I've ever seen.
Alright! Here we go!
Kaido whacks Luffy, but clearly it wasn't very effective. So Kaido's like, fuck it, I'm gonna whack him again. That was Kaido's biggest mistake, because the opening starts playing, and you guys already know what happens when you start hearing that shit. Luffy just springs back up and hits Kaido with the middle finger, and proceeds to start laughing in front of him. Never pause One Piece when Luffy's in Gear 5, because the fuck is this? Man's lost his face and put it back on. If I was Kaido, I'd be sick. Man's brings the rubber ground all the way up into the sky, and just slams it to the ground like a waterfall, does his Kizaru impression, and headbutts Kaido right in the gut. Hold up, y'all thought he was finished? Man does a WWE countdown and punches Kaido so hard that his fist stretches out the shape of Kaido's face. Pause. And sent him flying. Shit replayed not 3 times, but 5 different times. Luffy really got Kaido questioning life to the point where he asked Luffy, yet again, who are you? And y'all already know, he's Monkey D. Luffy, and he's gonna surpass Kaido and become the king of the pirates. One Piece is so good. Make sure to like and comment for a part 2, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, as only 1% of y'all are subscribed. Also join the Discord server, link in the description. And besides that, I'ma catch y'all.